Hi everybody, Randy Wakeman here. This is the Mossberg 940 Pro with a walnut stock. I believe they call it the Field Pro Walnut. Made in the USA, the barrel is stamped Eagle Pass, Texas. And we all know the immigration problems, the illegal immigration problems that have happened in Eagle Pass that may have slowed down production, I don't know. So the 940 is an improvement over the 930, several things, but most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, is the gas action, because the gas action doesn't need cleaning nearly as quickly as the previous gas action. You see that extra sleeve. Other than that, it's a fairly conventional gas action. A couple ports in the barrel and a gas piston on top. Very easy to assemble, put together. This is one of the few popular semi-autos that is both affordable and made in the USA. Mossberg's been around for a long time. In fact, my very first shotgun was a Mossberg 410 bolt action. I was 5 years old with select chokes. That goes back a ways. So Mossberg embraces the affordable, practical gun concept. That hasn't changed throughout the history of Mossberg. They've always tried to make reliable guns, dependable guns that don't cost much. And I think this qualifies in 2024. Street price for this model is about $850. If you want synthetic, just a plain black synthetic, maybe $100 less, $750. So it's made in the USA. It's a fairly substantial gun. I just weighed this example with a 28-inch barrel. It weighs 7 3/4 pounds. So this is not a pheasant chaser, but on the dove field or casual clays, ideal. The trigger is surprisingly good, breaking at a nice, light, crisp 3 3/4 pounds. So that is better than a lot of Browning triggers, Benelli triggers, etc., etc. So everybody's going to like the trigger. The workmanship, as far as wood to metal fit, I'm going to call it just average, because there are some gaps, and some of that is just a nod to the economics of production. The forearm, this is not traditional checkering, it's more of a stippling, which I like. It feels very, very good. The stock is on the short side. On the short side, as far as I'm concerned, it does come with an additional spacer. This is the way it came out of the box. You've got a spacer right here, so I suppose another half-inch spacer or whatever is included. There are a lot of hunters out there that complain because the stocks are too long, and of course they don't want to pay for stock work and to have a pad ground. Particularly if you've got all your hunting gear on, you certainly don't want anything that snags. Well, this, as you can tell, fairly short stock. Now it fits me just fine, but I'd call the stock for me a little on the short side. You may be different. We're all different. Comes with AccuChokes, which I believe are the same as standard Vector chokes. Fairly wide rib. You get light pipes. Mossberg gives you a few extra colors. This is a green that came installed. The controls are definitely oversized. You can look at the massive oversized charging bolt handle and the massive release. So you're going to like that in the duck blind for sure. It's also drilled and tapped. So if you want to use this as a turkey gun or optics, you're good to go. Mossberg is also paid some attention to the safety. You notice that the tang safety is no longer plastic, it's metal, and it's got a lot of texture. So it's far easier to get off than some of the plastic Mossberg safeties that I've complained about in times past. So, does it cycle? You can see Mossberg doesn't go with decals. Everybody hates these decals. I get emails about how to take them off, generally WD-40 if they don't peel right off. But anyway, they use a plastic barrel ring. Let me run a couple rounds through it. Got some Browning sporting clay loads, 1.125 ounces, 1,300 feet per second. So that's fundamental to semi-autos. Is it easy to load? And very, very easy to load. And does it cycle? So let me kill some grass. Hopefully you'll be able to see the ejection here. Those are fairly hot loads at 1,300 feet per second, but the recoil isn't worth talking about, and that's not with a shooting vest or anything. So you're going to like the low recoil, and of course the extra weight. The 7 3/4 pound helps in that regard as well. So let me see if it breaks a couple clay pigeons. I presume it might. Yeah, nice little drop shot. Goes where you point it. And who's this gun for? You know, that's what I try to speculate on. It's like, who is going to want this gun? Well, if you want made in the USA from a family-owned American company, that's a big plus. If you don't want to spend a couple $1,000s or $1,500 or even $1,200, you want a walnut stock gun for about 8.5 or 7.5 for a synthetic. I'd call that a budget gun. And trigger's excellent. Like I mentioned, the controls are really excellent. Easy to load. Good ejection. Maybe I can find some softer loads here to shoot. These are American clay and field, still 1.125 ounces at 1,200 feet per second. So slower than the sporting clays loads. And you can tell there's even less recoil with these guys. And the ejection is very good. Aggressive ejection, actually. That's something like 8 feet. 8-foot ejection or so with 1.125 ounces, 1,200 feet per second. So some people like slow 1-ounce loads. I can't speak to that because I don't use them. But it's a good candidate because the ejection is very, very good. So other than that, this gun is pretty straightforward. I think you'll like the price, you'll like the easy loading, you'll like the trigger. If you're looking for a heavier gun, 7 3/4 pounds, this is it. For a youth shooter, you may like it for, let's say, 14, 15 years old, high school shooter. You may be good to go right here. And you can certainly shorten the stock just by removing the spacer. So I think for a lot of lady shooters, so you can add a spacer that is included if you wish, or you can remove the spacer that's already pre-installed and It's probably going to get a lot of people, ladies included, the 14, 15-year-old age, into a gun that is pretty easy to shoulder, extremely low recoil. And the balance, not bad at all. Actually, I had expected this to be somewhat muzzle heavy, but it's not. It's very close to being neutrally balanced. So, is this the most beautiful semi-auto ever made? Absolutely not. But it's a long ways from being a pricey semi-auto. So, made in the USA, Mossberg. It's a 5-shot, 4 in the tubular magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. Anything that's Mossberg has a lot of aftermarket support. And I really don't have anything negative to say about it. I mean, the only reason that you may not want this would be the same reason that other people do want it, which would be the weight, the 7 3/4 pound weight. A plus for clays, perhaps a plus on the dove field, plus for recoil sensitive shooters, in addition to the gas action. You run around, this is nobody's wild pheasant gun or quail gun or grouse gun for that matter. But I like it. And shims are included. And Mossberg deserves credit because they've done a very good job with the improved tang safety, metal tang safety, and the oversized bolt release and the oversized charging handle. So, pretty straightforward. Mossberg has excellent distribution, so you should be able to check one of these out at your local pro shop without much problem. There was a delay with these Walnut models. I've been waiting for this for probably a year and a half. So the 940s, of course, have been out for a long time, have been popular. Certainly the Jerry Michalak specials are all over the place for those that want 3-gun or extended magazines, etc., etc. But yeah, I think Mossberg's done a very good job. Certainly a clear improvement over prior iterations of the 930 and the early 940. So you're going to like the extended cleaning intervals, the soft shooting, and I know I'm being a little bit redundant, but excellent trigger, much improved safety. To me, that's a big deal, and excellent controls. So there you have it, folks. A quick look at the Mossberg 940 Pro with a walnut stock.